You're not 19 anymore. And that's not a bad thing. But if you're training like you are, your body's going to be paying the price. Welcome to part 2 in my mini-series on how to get in shape and stay in shape for life. Today I'm going to be helping you maximize your training without burning out. Now you might be thinking, why trust me? My name's Christian Summers. I've helped hundreds of guys now get in shape and stay in shape for life. Irrelevant of their background, from business owners, family men, guys that work shifts, whatever it may be. All these guys have trained for a number of years and either stalled in results or just weren't quite getting the physique they were proud of. And we made sure it happened. And the reason why I've created this particular video is the guys that have made the best results long-term are not the guys that have necessarily trained the hardest. They're the guys that have been intelligent with their recovery in order to do this for a long period of time. So one of my clients, Ed, was an absolute fucking machine. This guy trained, and I still have to pull him back sometimes. He trained like an absolute workhorse, did his cardio. Sometimes he was in the gym for fucking 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. But he got to the point where his body was just beat up, sore, and he just was not seeing the progress he was getting from doing this type of training 10 years ago. And in fact, he wasn't just not seeing the progress he was seeing beforehand, he wasn't seeing any progress at all. And he was just getting beat up, picking up niggles, and he was in pain. We stripped his plan all the way back, pulled back number of sets, pulled back training days, and we got a new structure in place. We built recovery into his training, we managed fatigue, pulled back volume, and it was much more manageable for him. Within 4 weeks, his strength shot up, inflammation dropped right down, he wasn't in any pain, and he says for the first time in years, he actually feels good again. And for Ed, it was actually focusing on small little things that he didn't have to focus on earlier in his life when he wasn't as busy. So when it comes to recovery, you've got your big rocks, such as your overall training workload, but you've also got things such as life, stress, and sleep. I'd say these three are your biggest recovery modalities outside of nutrition and hydration. Here's what most guys get wrong. They confuse doing more with doing better. When you're in your 30s and 40s, training volume, work stress, and sleep all collide. And if you don't adapt your structure, your body will just force you to. Through burnout, injuries, or just staying stuck. That's why I created the Recovery Optimized structure. And it's not about doing less work all the time. It's just about doing the right work at the right time. What we do is we cycle training loads. If you're in the back end of a fat loss phase, you're not going to be able to handle as much training as you are in peak gaining phase. Equally so, you might not be able to manage the volume you can handle in peak gaining phase for that long. It might be that every 4th week or 5th week or 6th week, depending on your needs, we need to reduce training volume and actually give your body a bit of a break. This allows you to have a longer runway and make even better progress. Think of it like this. Your ability to handle training stress or just stress altogether in life is like a sink. Every time you turn that tap on, that's like you doing another training session. That's like you staying late at work. That's like you missing out on sleep. And the water rises and rises and rises. If you're never deloading, which is taking the plug out and letting the water go back down, if you're never resting or catching up on sleep, letting the water go back down, the water is going to continue to come all the way to the top until it floods. And that's when we get injured. That's when we burn out. And that's when we essentially end up wanting to quit. So if you feel like you're doing everything right, you're training hard, you're turning up, you're hitting your macros, you're doing everything you feel like you should be doing, but you're a bit beat up, you feel like you're spinning your wheels, it might not be your effort that's the problem, it's your recovery strategy. And a recovery optimized structure will fix that. And this recovery optimized structure is exactly what we do with clients inside my program. And when we speak about recovery all the time, yes, part of it is sleep, part of it is managing life stress, but the most easily manageable piece of the pie that we have in our hands is how much training volume you do, is how much training stress you put on your body. So that's where we go first. Trying to do ice baths, sauna, fucking, what's that shit? Chiller shit. Trying to do all that stuff when your sleep is terrible, when you're just doing too much in the gym, it's not going to do fuck all. It's like a chocolate fire guard. We go to the biggest rocks first, such as training volume, training stress, and that's where you're going to be able to manage your recovery the best. Not by, I'm a fan, I like ice baths, makes you feel good, but doing 10 minutes of ice baths ain't going to fucking make up for you not sleeping enough and ain't going to make up for you doing way too much work in the gym. Right, if you stayed here till the end, I've got a tasty treat for you. I told you I'd give you something. And that treat is I'm going to give you free access to my Circle community. Now this, at some point, I'm going to put a paywall in. I'm not sure how much I'm going to charge it for, and I'm not sure when I'm going to do it, But for now, it's absolutely free. All you need to do is DM me the words Ice Bath Bitch, and I will. I know these are great, these names. These are coming up off the cuff. DM me the word Ice Bath Bitch, and I will send you over the access to get into the Circle community. Anyway, in part 3, we're going to talk about the system that ties it all together. Stick around and let's see how it works.